Hey, what's going on, guys? Talk movies with us here. Back again for another Patreon requested movie review. This one is brought to you by Doc Samson, aka M for Movies. Check him out on YouTube.
We'll put a link in the description.
Yep, all that. And he requested for us to watch Dark City,
which is a sci-fi movie from 1998, directed by Alex Proyas. Hopefully I pronounced that right.
Yeah.
And neither of us had ever seen that movie.
And we know it's got kind of like this cult following. This film stars Rufus Sewell, Kiefer Sutherland, aka Jack Bauer,
and Jennifer Connelly, amongst a bunch of other people.
Yeah.
But those are the three main characters.
Right off the bat, what this movie is about is a man played by Rufus Sewell wakes up in a bathtub inside this hotel room. And he has no idea how he got there.
He has no idea who he is. There's a dead body in the room, and he's obviously not sure how he got there. He receives a mysterious phone call
by Kiefer Sutherland
saying that, I want to help you, but there are people out to get you. Basically, he is now wanted for multiple murders.
So Kiefer Sutherland plays his doctor, and he's basically telling Rufus Sewell, who plays a guy named Jay Murdoch, so we'll call him Murdoch. He's telling Murdoch, I know what happened to you, I can help you, please get in contact with me ASAP. And he basically doesn't know who to trust at this point. He has no idea who he is. His wife, played by Jennifer Connelly, is also very confused of what's going on.
Yeah.
She hasn't seen him in weeks. And it's basically the story of a guy trying to find out what the hell happened to himself, you know? And how did he end up in this precarious situation?
Yeah, and I mean, the story unravels, and there's a lot of detail to it, because there ends up being another group of strangers after him, and I mean, this is a fantastic science fiction movie.
Yeah, this is definitely, I could see why people like it so much. This is one of the most original films I've seen. I will tell you that, especially when it comes to sci-fi.
Yeah.
You know, it's really different. And I remember watching this and telling you, I was saying, this movie has to be based off of a book, a comic book, or something.
It definitely has that feeling.
It definitely has a comic book feel to it. Just from the set design alone, it looks a lot like the old Batman films from the 80s and 90s. And a little bit of Sin City mixed into it.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said it kind of reminded me of Sin City in color. Even like the quick cuts, because there's a lot of cuts in this movie. And if you turn away for 1 second, you're probably going to miss something, because the scene changes so quickly in this movie.
Basically like a comic book, where you get the squares, each square is like a cut.
Exactly.
That's another reason why it kind of felt like a comic book. And, you know, we did our research after the film. We come to find out that this is a totally original film. It's not based off of a comic book, which was super surprising to me.
And it's actually really refreshing. It's really awesome. I mean, although I wouldn't mind having like a book to read afterwards to kind of maybe get more information on these strangers. I mean, the concept is really awesome, and immediately from the first scene in the movie, it sucks you right in. Yeah. And you definitely can't look away. You just want to keep watching.
It's definitely visually stunning. It's just because there are these weird characters called the strangers in this film. And you also brought up another great point where you were saying they looked a lot like Pinhead, and they really did.
Yeah, they look like Pinhead without his pins in. I mean, they're very tall and skinny, and they're wearing these like long black cloaks, and they just have that presence to them.
They're bald, they're pale.
Yeah.
And my response to that was, they look like unmasked Darth Vader.
Because, that too.
I was like, that's what they totally look like in this film. But it was just an overall creepy film. You didn't know what to expect.
I mean, definitely the first time you watch it, you really have no idea what to expect at all. And I feel like this is a movie that I could watch again and again and again and find something different about it and see different details and everything.
For sure.
I mean, the movie is very detailed. And I think that watching it just one time is really just scratching the surface. So these are kind of just like our initial thoughts on it.
Yeah. It was just so strange and weird. You couldn't look away though, because
it was very enjoyable.
You know, and the story was very good. I mean, looking at this director's IMDb page, I mean, he's done Gods of Egypt, which is, I mean, I haven't seen it, but I hear nothing but terrible things. He did The Crow,
which is a
cult classic.
Exactly. And he did I, Robot, which was a very strange movie with Will Smith.
Which was probably his most mainstream film.
Yeah, I would say so.
But yeah, I mean, people say this one is his masterpiece, and we could see why.
Obviously, besides The Crow, like I can see that this is really his best movie.
But let me ask you, how do you think this movie has held up over the years? Because this is, you know,
it's from 1998,
coming
so
up on 20 years.
I think it's held up pretty well, and that being because you don't actually know what year it is in the movie.
No, it's hard to tell.
The city, obviously it's a dark city, but the city is not really, like with their clothing and everything, you don't really know what time they're in, and I like that about it.
Yeah.
I mean, the graphics are a little...
Yeah, it was very Tim Burton-esque. I got vibes of that just because of the old Batmans, the way the city, the way the landscape was. It just felt like such a set, such a movie set, you know? But yeah, I mean, overall, it had a cool little feel to it. Yeah. So let's get into the performances of this thing.
Rufus Sewell, who I don't think I've seen in anything else besides this, he was really good. I mean, he kind of just had to play this, you know, this character who's kind of figuring everything out, who he is, what he's doing, who's after him, but he did a very good job. And I mean, he had a crazy eye thing going on. Yeah. It kind of freaked me out a little bit.
As did Kiefer Sutherland.
Well, yeah. All right, so Kiefer Sutherland.
Kiefer Sutherland, you know, it was good. I mean, I haven't seen him in a ton of movies, I've
only seen him as Jack Bauer in a few episodes.
Jack Bauer, Stand By Me, but to see him as this quirky role, I mean, I haven't seen him in this kind of a role. So maybe, you know, he's been in something like this before, but this is totally new for me, seeing him in this.
Yeah, he plays this crazy psychiatrist, and I mean, the way that he talks, his lines, like he says a quick couple of words and then a pause, and a quick couple of words and then a pause. And I actually really liked his dialogue. I think it was really unique.
Yeah, I agree with you. And Jennifer Connelly.
She's just great all around.
She's always good. She's been around forever, right?
So she's been in a lot of movies, and she's always good. She's a solid actress. Yeah.
Performances were good. The direction of this movie was really super original and fantastic. I mean, it was an overall really good time, and I'm really happy, you know, he recommended this one for us to watch.
Yeah, we always like when people recommend movies that we haven't seen, because one, it forces us to watch something we haven't seen, and two, you know, it really expands our
horizons.
And
I will admit, sci-fi is one of the genres that I've seen most of the main stuff, I will say, but there's a lot of sci-fi. Sci-fi is probably what I know least about in terms of movies, you know?
I'm glad that you brought that up, because I was going to say the exact same thing. Like, I've seen, you know, the Alien movies, you know, Predator, or whatever it might be considered sci-fi.
The Matrix.
Yeah, but I have definitely not delved into this genre. I mean, if you guys have suggestions, leave them below. Grades, what are you going to give this thing?
I'll give it, I'll go B+. I thought it was just an overall really solid film, a really fun watch, and I think I'll even like it a lot more on a second viewing too, so.
Yep, I'm going to give it the same thing. I'm going to give it a B+, and I'm the same way. I feel like I do want to watch it again, and I feel like each and every time I do watch it, I'm going to find something different, and I think that I'll enjoy it and appreciate it even more.
Yeah, I mean, a film that starts off and it keeps your attention the whole way through. And
it definitely makes you think,
and
too.
And you really want to figure out what is going on, and you hope the payoff is worth it at the end. And I will say, it definitely was. It goes off the rails a little bit, but in a good kind of way.
Yeah, it was definitely fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely will watch it again, definitely, for sure. All right, guys, so thank you for checking out our review of Dark City, and thanks again to Doc Samson, a.k.a. M for Movies, for, you know, recommending this one to us. We really appreciate all your Patreon support and just, you know, just supporting the channel in general. So it means a lot to us.
Thank you to all of our other Patreons. Thank you to people who are not Patreons, who just, you know, hit that watch button or subscribe button.
Who just like watching us screw up on camera a million times. Yeah. It's really fun.
We do have another Patreon. We have a couple of Patreon requested reviews that we are going to be getting through in the next couple of weeks, but I think the next one is 8 Men Out.
Yes.
So stay tuned for that.
From Chris Rivers, I believe.
Yes, Chris Rivers has requested us to watch that, and it's a baseball movie.
Yeah, right up my alley, so we'll get on that one next.
And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
See you later.